All right, I hope everybody's doing well today. We're here to make tortillas great again. This is the introduction of our tortillas line to y'all. And what I'm doing today is I'm basically going to talk to you a little bit about the tortilla business, and it's basically two segment type deal. One is the traditional tortilla business, and the other is your American cuisine type business that's out there. Briefly go over, talk a little bit about some of the products, and after that we'll move into the kitchen and show some presentations and whatnot, so you get some visual aid, so you feel a little more comfortable when you're out there in front of your customers. You got the right questions to ask, and you can feel confident that you know that you have the right answers and know where to go to get the information you need. So when it comes to your traditional tortilla business, the main anchor that you're going to hear about 80% of the time is chips. Everybody's going to want to go after their chip business. Well, if we're going to go after their chip business, we got to understand what all information we need to determine how to attack and to overcome any obstacle that we're going to have. When you go out on your fact-finding mission, the first thing you can do is find out what's the current product they're using. Who are they buying the product from? Then the next thing you're going to ask them is what color is your chip? Is it white? Is it yellow? Is it a blended chip? Because there's white and yellow chips. Customers have a preference to the color chip they use. How long have they been buying this particular product? And I think everybody will be astonished to find out that most Mexican restaurants have probably been using the same product for the past 6, 10, 15, or even since they've been open product, because they got used to it, their customers got used to it. So you know that's a big variable you got to break down. And then we're going to ask them what they like about that chip since they've been utilizing it so long. Is it the thickness? Is it the thinness? Is it the taste? So it gives us an idea of which direction we need to go to identifying the right chip, because basically right now we manufacture over 120 different flavor, spec, size of chips. So we're not like the world of beef where you got select, no, row, prime. So there's a little bit more fact finding that we have to do. It's important too to ask them if the salsa they're using is a thick, heavy salsa, or if it's more of a chunky, more of a blend type where it's blended up, more of a finer blend. Because if it's thick and chunky, you're going to have to use a heavier chip, because the thin ones chips will definitely break every time, and the customers and will be definitely unhappy with the product. And you won't maintain that business very long once we land it. Ask to see the boxes the chips come in. When you get back there, look inside the box and see if it looks like they're all clumped together, because that's going to tell you real quick that that's coming off of a die cut line, and that's some of the reason why that particular chip is a little bit more cost effective. If you look in the box, it kind of looks like a bulk box. They're fluffy, they're not all stuck together. That tells you that they've cut the chips up with a knife, and they're not as bulky. It's sticking together and whatnot, so they're more better fluffed up. And then the third one, which is my favorite, is a stack. To me, this is a sleeper that we need to be out there showing, because our competitors are not out there utilizing it, but it has a lot of great benefits. Being able to portion up, put it into the fryer, being able to get an even yield into your fryer basket, your fryer when frying up, because you want your oil at 350. You don't want it turned up higher, and you want to fry it at approximately 25 seconds. The more you overload the fryer, the longer it takes for them to fry up, and also kills the texture and the color and appearance of your products. So very great product there. Also too, we need to get the product code number off the box. Take a picture of the label, ingredients, and also too ask for a Ziploc bag of the product. The reason is you come to me and you say, well, I've got this particular product, and let's say me or one of my colleagues has never seen it. We're going to ask for that product, and we're going to send it back to the warehouse or the plant to have them break it down, our QA team, and they can tell us how much water and product and mixture and everything it is, so we know the right items to match the product up to. And then the final thing we're going to ask them is what is your price per pound? And you want to get that per pound versus per case. And the reason is 25, 30, 32, and 35 are your standard size cases in the industry. And it's very important to know what it is per pound, not necessarily a case price. And also what we're going to do too today, we're going to talk a little bit about additional asked for items. One of the biggest things, like I said, is 80% of the time, it's going to be people wanting to get the chip business because it's a large volume. So if a customer, for instance, using 50 cases of chips, he's going to be using 25 cases of the other tortilla type products in the back of the house for other dishes and whatnot, which we'll show you later, some presentations of some different dishes of the products that are being used. So the additional asked for items are going to be your 6-inch corn, white, and wheat, your flour wraps, which flour, we go anywhere from a 4.5 inch to a 14-inch on our flour wraps. Then we also have our flavored wraps, which are really big in the American cuisines today. And then last but not least is our hybrid flour. It's 60-40, and it's excellent for frying up, for like making taco baskets, chimneys, different items of that. Now let's head off to the kitchen and see what great things we have. Okay, what I've done here is I've got us 3 different type of products pulled today, so we can get some real visual on the product of our chips. I've got the 1224, the 1101, and the 1005. The 1221, as we talked about, comes off of a die cut line. As you can see with the product, it is all nestled in here right nice and tight because the product is basically right off the conveyor belt into the box. One of the things, if you have any customers that are using this product, that you want to do is you want to literally fluff the product. So you want to reach down in here and fluff it up before you fry it, because if not, it will all be clumped up together. It'll be very hard and difficult to fry up, and it'll cut down on your yields of your product when frying that way. The 1101 here, this is the one that's the hand cut, as you can see, versus the die cut line that's got the solid ridges all the way around it. This product is actually, you can tell that the box has already pretty much been pre-fluffed, because after it's cut, it's actually taken and dumped over into the box. It's not being run straight down the conveyor into the box where it compacts together. And then our other product here is one that I'm very favorable of, is the 1005. It's cut stack wise. And the nice thing about it is you cut it off, and whenever we fry up here in a minute, you can take a segment of this for a portion, so you get a nice portion every time when frying. And you'll be able to see that within the boxes. As you can see, is that these are yellow, and both of these particular products are white. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to grab some of the 1224s, and we're going to drop them into the deep fryer. And you want to cook them for about 25 seconds roughly, and they'll be ready to go. One of the major things to remember is you want your oil at 350. Too high actually burns the chips, and it'll give them an off-colored look and appearance. On a white chip, it will be very noticeably dark in color. The next one here is going to be our 1101. One of the things to remember too is you don't want to fry them into the baskets, because frying them in the baskets will cause them to clump together and have several chips cooked all into one. Then our 1005. One of the things that you'll notice, like with the 1005, is how flat that they are. And this is due to the fact that they're all stacked nice and pretty into the bags. So this will actually give you a better yield on your case when putting them into your baskets, because it fluffs the basket up as there's not as many chips per container. The average table will consume 2 to 3 containers of chips at dinner or at a meal at a Mexican restaurant. As you can see, as I've used about the same exact amount of chips for each one, and just in these two, in this. So here's our finished products. What we did is we took the same amount of product, portions, and put it into the fryer. On the 1224 here, as you can see, the die cut one, your yield is considerably less. You can see how chips and stuff are folded and whatnot due to the fact of how they're just run straight off of a die cut line and dropped into a box. And then here on the 1101, which is our knife cut product, you can see there's still a little bit more of a yield because this product's actually taken, and when it's cut, it's actually dumped in the box, so it's not weighting down like the 1224. And then finally, my favorite is this particular product here, 1005 or 1006, which are in a bag, stacked up nice and pretty. As you can tell, the yield that you got out of a bowl and how much still you got extra left out of the one fry. So you end up getting more of a yield, of a higher yield out of the 1005. They're nice and fluffy, and like I said earlier, as average consumers will have 2 to 3 bowls of chips when they're sitting in a Mexican restaurant, and it would definitely be in their best benefit to move towards the 1005. And we're talking pennies of cost whenever it comes to looking at the different ones. Okay, as we were talking about earlier, one of the things that we want to talk about is your asked for business. And that's these particular products that are more asked for, than customers really coming out looking for them. So what we've done is I've taken and cooked them up. Some of the product, I've got it here in the raw state as well as the cooked stage to show y'all, to give you some visual ideas of what the product is used for. So with like cooking up tacos and whatnot, it's your ultra thin yellow. These also come in white, so if you have some customers who want white, they can come in as white as well, but a thin is more used for frying like tacos, tostados, or baking, things of that nature. And then you have your white 6-inch tortillas, corn. These are high moisture, and they're the ones for our enchiladas or our fajita corns that we use on the table for fajitas. And then I also put here just something a little bit different. We're calling this the triple stacker for breakfast item. This is just a 8-inch flour tortilla that we've taken and we've utilized, got some eggs, got some ground beef and some beans within the product. So just another unique way to use that as a breakfast item or a limited time offer type product within some of your restaurants and whatnot. Okay, then on our next product here is one that we really like is our hybrid tortilla. It comes in a blue bag to identify it versus the clear white bags that the other flours are in. So that's very important to know when you're looking at our products. It's made 60% flour, 40% corn. And a couple of items that we've made up here today to show is our taco pizza and also our jumbo taco. This same item here is really can be used as for taco bowl, stuff like that, if you want the standard looking taco bowl. But to upscale your plate appearance and get a few more dollars, you can take and make the jumbo taco for 2 to have. And then as we slide over here, here's the different array of our whole wheat tortillas, our flour, and our flavors. And what we did here is we made up some quesadillas, showing like the standard Mexicans. We put cheese and stuff in it, or chicken. Here we did some, we put some black beans, some refrieds and whatnot, and cut them up to make some different type of quesadillas. And then also here's where we did a burrito, bean, meat, cheese, and everything added to it. And then one that's all meat with some rice. So these come in 8, 10s, 12s, and we can do 14s. There's a big variety of unique items that customers can utilize them to upsell their menus.